Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Brian W. Adams.
Hello, everybody, and thanks so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. We started Inspire to really inspire others, really understanding just how to create just amazing opportunities in this industry and serve more people. And today, you're going to be blessed by somebody who is building an incredible business. And I'm so excited to welcome Chris and Vicena Hart to the Inspire podcast. Their business, SOS Financial Agency, is an incredible testament to this incredible industry that we're part of. So Chris and Vicena, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
I am so excited to share y'all's story, and I've been just catching up with you guys has been so inspiring to me. And so whenever we started this podcast, it was about this idea of giving people hope, not only about hope in our industry, but also with the noble purpose that we serve people with by the products and services, but also giving people hope and really seeing the big picture of what this industry provides. Yeah. And you guys are a living testament to that. And so I can't wait to share y'all's story. So you guys started in California. Mm-hmm. Now you've moved to the DC area. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about y'all's business and kind of what niche you guys are serving in the insurance business.
Our niche really is, you look at the insurance industry and it lacks diversity a lot when it comes to distribution and options to diverse markets. And so we're focusing more on millennials, Gen Zs, Gen Xers, minorities and women. And we see a huge gap in that in the insurance industry. It allows us to really attract a market that's normally being left behind.
Why is that important to you?
Oh, well, diversification and really representation. When we moved from California to the DMV area, just a little backdrop on that area there. We're in Prince George's County. That county is one of the wealthiest African-American counties in the country.
Wow. And
we went there and we saw a lack of representation in the insurance space. We're there and people don't know about the insurance products we offer, don't know about wealth building tools. And so it allowed us an opportunity to go into a market that needs our services. And people normally buy from people who usually look, talk, and act like them.
Yeah.
And so it allowed us to go into a market that needed our representation. And so as we're building in the Maryland market, success has taken off, and it's great because we work in an industry where we can serve and at the same time earn a great living for our loved ones and for our family. And it's amazing, really.
You know, it's funny you say that. There's a lot of people who think that this market is a male-dominated industry, right? And they also sometimes think, sometimes it may be dominated by white people in a lot of ways, and people that look like me. What's interesting is our market, we were looking at our agents and agencies really, we're about almost 50% female today. Oh, wow. So it's interesting if you think about the fact that this is not a male-dominated industry, and we've got to change that kind of paradigm because over half of our customers are female. And if you think about our agent base, it's that much. And then almost 50% are from minority backgrounds today as well. And with our almost 600,000 agents, that's a massive group of people. And one of the things that I think the insurance industry does is we serve so many people with their life, health, and wealth needs. But it also opens up this huge opportunity that most of us never knew about. I would venture to say you never grew up saying, I want to be an insurance agent. Like I'm going to go into maybe not even financial services, right? It's like most of us, like when I was a kid, man, I was never thinking about this. But man, when you figure it out, man, when somebody introduces you to this opportunity, and that's what I know something, Vicena, you're so passionate about is not only the way we get to serve people, and we get to serve them at some of the most important times of their life, but you're also serving your agents. Talk about your passion about recruiting new people.
That's the most exciting thing to me in this business because it's the mindset behind it. Yes, you serve your clients, but recruiting people who are just so brand new to this industry. Like you just said, no one wakes up and says, I want to be an insurance. That definitely wasn't me. Far from it. And I had different, avenue, and I was like, okay, well, let's see how this works out. But I think it was a mindset behind it that really changed me. The way I can grow and become a better version of myself just by reading books and personally developing. How many more people can do that?
Right.
Just becoming and being in this industry, of course, it's a very lucrative industry. So coming in this, how many more people I can bring in that were just like me, maybe did not know what to do for their future, and maybe they don't like school either, and they had no idea like they want to be an insurance agent, but to change their mindset, to dream bigger, to think bigger, I couldn't ask for anything different.
You know, it's an interesting point. Since most of us don't grow up wanting to be an insurance agent, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you learn about this industry and you learn about how you can really impact people, you can impact the end consumer, but you can also impact your family. I mean, some of the stories that we've heard about families being impacted and changing generational strongholds in a lot of different ways of poverty and other things. I remember whenever I got into the insurance industry, I was recruited by this guy, and I remember like helping my first client and like seeing that opportunity of really helping them in a really important time of need and delivering my first claim check and going, man, I made a difference. And I've seen you guys on stage. I've seen y'all really impacting people, and the passion you guys have about telling people like, you too can be part of this. Like you too can have this. And if you can help that group of people, the agents that you're recruiting, the big agency owners that you're building, then ultimately they'll go out and help the consumer. And back to your point about meeting people where they are and really kind of relating to people is such an important part of this business. How did you guys learn that? To meet people where they are and relate as well as you do?
You know, it's really my backstory. My mom and dad, so my dad's a pastor. My mom's an evangelist.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so I grew up as a kid. My mom had a bullhorn at the door. We would go out to South Central Los Angeles area, and she would preach to prostitutes, drug addicts, gangbangers, and lay hands on them and pray for them. And so we had I grew up in a household. We served others. We were big hearts, but Brian, we were broke.
Yeah.
So as a kid growing up, I saw the serving, giving, and I realized that we love people. We're at the church 4 days a week. We love God, but we're broke. And as growing up as a child, I said, I want to make money. I want to serve people. Is there a way to do it? I see people going to nonprofits. I've seen people going to social work, and they get out of college and they're struggling still. And so I said, man, how can I find a place where I can genuinely give back to others, make a big impact, but also make an impact on my loved ones? And we found in the insurance space, it's a space that truly allows you to serve people genuinely. I mean, in order to be successful in insurance, you got to serve people. If someone's making great income in the insurance space and you're serving families, you have to have a heart for people. To my God, you don't sell to your client, you sell through your client. That's how you build a robust business, a book of business that really allows you to not only take care of people in your industry, but also take care of your loved ones and build generational wealth. And so there's no other space that you can do this in. And so I love the fact that we were recruited into the insurance space. A buddy of mine, he's actually works with Matt Machines, Apollo of Money Department. He's here in Dallas. He had Curtis Eatman. At my church one night, we're at Bible study. He says, hey, Chris, I work for a company, I'm selling insurance. I said, let's sit down. He sat down, he blew me away. My mom and dad did the best they can by me, but never quite had discussions about personal finances. We become a client. I sent him some referrals. I asked him what he made great income. I said, how do I get started?
What do I need to do?
And from there, here we are today, 10 years later, man.
How many years later?
10 years.
10 years later. That's
later.
amazing. Dude. So what's so fun to me, and I knowing you guys, I know that your faith is so important to you as well. And it's being able to tie your faith that your mom and dad gave you and being able to tie that in to also work and be able to serve others. It's such a cool experience. So you grew up in South Central LA. Like what high school did you go to?
So the Carson High School.
Carson High
Los
School.
Angeles Unified School. My mom was a teacher,
Your mom was a teacher and a preacher. And man, that had to take courage, man.
Oh yeah.
And then you were a star athlete, and you went to Hattiesburg, Mississippi to play at Southern Mississippi.
Yep.
What was that transition like?
Oh, that was crazy. Growing up in California, very diverse market, not very traditional. And you go to Southern Mississippi.
Super traditional.
Super traditional, and not a lot of diversity. It was like black and white.
Yeah.
That's all it was there, right? And come from California where you have diverse individuals, you didn't see that much. But for me, it was different because I was able to connect with different groups of people and see a different perspective. And I think the more you travel, whether it's coast to coast around the world, the more regions you see, you're able to observe why people are the way they are. And I think in the insurance space, it allowed me to connect. We have a diverse team of individuals on our team. And I think the skill set we've had as a young age, growing up in South Central and talking with different diverse groups of people and going to school in Mississippi, allowed me to connect with others and to build a team that has over different nationalities from across the country, 20 plus nationalities on our team, from West Africa to East Africa to Russia, Lithuania, European, South America. And we see past that. Obviously, color is important for diversification and distribution, but at the end of the day, man, it doesn't matter what color your skin is or who you are. It's about your character as a person. And in SOS, we truly represent that and allow people from all backgrounds to feel comfortable working with us.
Yeah, I love that. One of our core values here at Integrity is respect. And how I tie that back in every time I talk about it is seeing people the way that God created them, right? And everyone needs our products and services. Yes. I don't care how wealthy you are or how poor you are or anywhere in between, your race, ethnicity, faith, everybody is going to need our products and services. And Vicena, you guys created this amazing business with 21 different nationalities, different languages, because you guys see people the way they are, and you also see that God-given potential in everyone. I love this about you guys, because a lot of people are like, man, I don't want to waste my time. But you guys are like, no, you can do this.
Yeah.
Why? Who taught you that, and who said you can do it? What was it like when you guys first got in the business, and because somebody had to show you that opportunity too, right?
Crazy thing is, Brian, no one showed me that. I didn't grow up in a household where you can do it, you can do whatever you want. You want to be a doctor, go ahead, go shoot for the stars. That wasn't in my household. It was just like, hey, you made C's, you passed, good job. So I just got C's, but I was never taught how to dream big. I was never taught how to go shoot for the stars and have vision. But my personality is very easygoing. I'm funny too, but easygoing. And I think if I'm in front of someone who can inspire me and that can lead me, I'm going to be led by that, and I know it's good for me. I grew up Catholic. I didn't grow up Christian, and I went to my first time really going to a church, a Christian church, was going with him, and when we were dating, and I started to see more things. I'm like, oh, he's like speaking to my life. That's when it started to come about, like, okay, God is like here for me, like he's here for me to bring more people to the kingdom, to lead more people to him, and that's the whole point. And so even starting in this business, again, that was not my thing. It was more of just like, well, he started doing this, and why not? You can make money here, and let's go for it. I wasn't the type of person to go to school. I'm like, college, I don't know. I didn't have a great sports background or anything like that. So, but again, I was so easygoing. If you can influence me in the right way, I'm going that path. And being in this business and now being influenced by someone like Patrick Bet-David to think bigger, he was the main one who taught me, no, you're thinking too small. Yeah. Think bigger, read this book. And that's where it came about. It was that. It wasn't growing up. It wasn't anything, like that. It was just more of him influencing me to grow and think bigger and think outside of the box and become a better version of myself. So
you bring up so many different points that we could go into a lot of different avenues here, but you said that no one told you growing up that you can do it. Like you can be anything you want, right? Why do you think that is? It's interesting. I can go back to these different turning points in my life. Yeah. And most of those turning points were somebody saying, you can't do it. You're not smart enough, you're not athletic enough, you're not whatever enough. Why do you think people, one, don't encourage more people to, like kids or people to dream bigger? And then why are you so passionate about it?
I would say it's not something I would blame my parents, because they did the best thing they could. Yeah. Sometimes the reason why is because we're not taught that growing up, because our parents just tried to get by. They weren't inspired by anyone. No one influenced them. Maybe they weren't reading books and the Bible and all that stuff. They were just doing the best they can to survive. And they had kids that came along with it. I got to do the best that I can to help them survive. So they did the best that they can. I would never put the blame on them. So I believe sometimes in our world or, our system, it's just like, you're so used to being able to put people down because you don't want to see people succeed, because it's a jealousy thing. It's something where you're like, man, because I want to succeed, how dare they succeed? So I'm not going to encourage you, because no one ever told them to be encouraged, to think bigger, to inspire. No one told them that, you know. It's usually around your life is more negativity than positivity. And that's where I feel like I want to come in and change that. Even for our kids, like, you got to speak affirmations. In the morning when I drive them to school, I'm recording on the phone. Okay, tell me about yourself. You know, what's going on today? I need 3 things. You know, my daughter would just shoot off like, I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm beautiful. Yes, you are, you know. And my son, he would just fire off, you know. So I want to do that for more people as well, because that's kind of not a common thing these days. So it's important to speak life into not just your kids and your family and your spouse. Speak life into people around you. Yeah. And as you're speaking life into people around you, you're also speaking things into yourself. And if you can't become better and grow, how are the people around you supposed to become better? And if that's your passion and vision to make people grow, you have to.
I love that. So we call this podcast Inspire for a reason. One of the things we wanted to do is say, let's have something about hope. Like, it's easy to be scared. Like, that's easy to crawl in there. But man, the people who had the biggest impact on me personally are people who said, and you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, I believe in you. You go do whatever you want. Like, you know, when you were playing football, I'm sure there were people who were like, man, you don't need to move to Mississippi to do that. You can stay here. Or especially, you know, you were talking about how your mom was ministering to people in gangs. I'm sure there were people trying to pull you into that in so many different ways. What is it on your recruiting? Like, when you tell somebody, I believe this fundamentally. We are in the most noble business there is. Yeah. I mean, we help people. There's a lot of noble businesses, medicine, and you know, people who are ministers.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we are in one of the most noble businesses, because when something happens to somebody and they're at a hospital, we're helping provide that financial security to take care of that. When they're at the time of you know, that they're meeting with the funeral director and they're, you know, something just happened. I mean, we're the one helping provide at that point. And even in retirement, like, I mean, we're helping people. I have a really good friend that he just had to move his parents into a nursing home and had to have a really hard conversation, saying, it was like an assisted living center. He said, Mom and Dad, you don't have enough money to move into this 2-bedroom. We're going to have to do this 1-bedroom because you only have this much money left for your life. Wow. And his dad said, don't end up like me. Like, change. And that was this morning. He was like telling me that. Wow. So we help people, like, in the future, like right now, like we need to be talking about what we offer to people right now to help make sure that when that day comes for my buddy, that his family's taken care of. And those are the things that we get to offer. And so whenever you're talking to somebody who probably hasn't been that encouraged, who was a C student like I was, like you were, like, you know, and they're not happy in their job. How would you recruit those people?
It's really seeing people for who they can be. Someone believed in me at one point in time in my career, right? And
who was that?
It was Patrick Bet David.
Yeah.
Patrick met
Patrick. How did that happen? Yeah.
I met Patrick 10 years ago. I'm at a conference and I'm getting recruited. I'm in the insurance industry, and he like pierced my eyes, man. Just like spoken to my soul, right? And over the course of 10 years, I've had ups and downs in the business, and he's always believed in me. And I can remember many conversations. One of the biggest things about mentorship is that, when I'm down, he encouraged me, but he always pushed me to think bigger and do more. I can recall a conversation we had. You can remember this call we had. We had a call where we're doing very well, man. Numbers are up, income is up, everything, recruiting's up, clients are up. We had a great month. I had a bad week. And we're talking. I said, hey, I just had one bad week, no big deal. He goes in for about 20 minutes, encouraging me strongly, holding me accountable. And he's talking to me at the time. I'm thinking, I'm almost like out of third person body experience. I'm looking back, I'm saying, who in your life, Chris, coaches you this hard? Yeah. Who in your life cares enough to hold you accountable? Because he doesn't need me from a financial perspective to do. He's great. He's doing good on his own. I'm thinking like, man, how many more people need that in their lives? Because that was a changing moment for me to think bigger and do more for my family, for my business, for my partners. Everyone needs that. Everyone needs a level of accountability and coaching for someone to believe in them. And I think when you can speak into someone's life, we've seen it in our agency, as we build our agency owners and build our agents, people are looking for hope, for a figure to speak into their lives, whether it be a father figure or a business or a mentor. And I think we have a lack of that in our country, of genuine leaders who want to step up and say, hey, let me pour into people potentially, because here's the other side of it. You can pour into someone, and what happens? Is anything guaranteed there? They can take you for granted. I think for me in the insurance spaces, it's the biggest thing for me is seeing the growth of people, man. When I see my guys grow, develop, get married, have their kids, and see their lives change because of our efforts. Someone did it for me. And so, for someone to do it for me, like a Patrick Bet-David to do it for me, why will I not do it for somebody else? And so recruiting someone into this industry is quite simple, because people are looking for a place to belong to, a place to be encouraged, a place to grow as an individual, and a place to really live out their goals and dreams.
Yeah, I think these next generations, I was at a meeting the other day, and people were talking about millennials, and they get a bad rap. And I took issue with it, because I was like, man, they're some of the hardest working, sharpest people I've ever met. They just want it differently, right? To your point. And what better industry that you can set your own schedule, create, there's no limits in this business, zero limits, literally, and make an impact. And that's what we want to do, right? I mean, I think that everybody fundamentally wants to leave a legacy and make an impact. And here you can make such an impact in so many different ways. And most importantly, to me, this is like the best part of this whole thing, is you don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the best looking. You don't have to be the most articulate. But you just got to outwork people, man. Now, that's one thing I think a lot of people, and this is probably where that generation, I think, frankly, every generation before came through that people who can outwork somebody, I would take likability and hard work over smarts and education, everything every day. And that's one of the things I know you guys have been so passionate about. Is like you're like, just watch me. I'll just outwork you, right? And also kind of showing your team, like, this is what it takes. What's it like whenever you take somebody who is, I mean, we were talking about some examples. I mean, it's people who've come from tough backgrounds, who hadn't been encouraged, hadn't been inspired, and then you show them, like, all of a sudden, man, this is the opportunity.
I think today, like, we're in a stage in America right now, and you may say some things are happening in our country, politically, what it may be, but America is still the greatest country in the world. It's a country where I can come here, I can work hard, I can be diligent, regardless of the color of my skin, my background, where I come from. You can still win big in America, and some people are saying that's not possible. I don't like that. So for me, in our organization, we've got people that came from third world countries. I know. They come here and say, hey, I'm in America now. I'm blessed to be here. I won a lottery. I'm here. I think of a girl like someone like Ella. She a girl on my team came from Ghana about a month ago, was visiting family in Ghana. She has a cousin. She says, the only difference between my cousin and me is that I won a lottery to be here in America. She's still there in Ghana, and she's having a hard time making a living. It makes $30 a month, US dollars, a month, $30 a month just to survive for a family. But if you're in America today, if you say, I want to put my head down, I want to work hard, I want to improve, I want to get better, the sky's the limit. And so I think for me, it's an example of being from Compton, California. I grew up in a gang-infested environment, Crips and Bloods, and friends that are in prison right now or are dead now, not alive. If I can make it out of that, anyone can do it. But you have to make a decision and stop making excuses and say, okay, cool, how do I connect with the right people that can believe in me? And I think this industry gives you the opportunity to say, hey, I don't have a college degree. I'm a college dropout. And the success we've had in this business is because of our hard work. And I'll add something to it. To me, it's hard. I have a success from a hard work plus grace and God's favor equals success. We've had some things that happen in our lives where we can't take credit for it, man. It's just favor from God and grace in our lives. But the hard work put us in position for it to take place and to happen. And so we let people know through our example. I think our example of our hard work is the best way to, the most duplicatable skill in business is hard work. You can watch me get to work and say, I can do that. maybe you can't be as tall as me, or maybe someone's more articulate, someone has a degree or a master's in business. No, if you just follow my example of getting to the office, serving families, loving people, taking care of people, self-improving, anyone can make it.
And it's really not any more complicated than that. And that's the amazing thing is a lot of times people look back and go, man, this got to be way more complicated than that. I started integrity out of my house. Like everybody said, there's no chance you can do this. Thank God I had guys like Tom and Mike that believed in me, and other people who said, listen, we come together, we can accomplish this. But there is no other place in the world, I firmly believe, that you could do this than America. Yeah. And look, I do think our country has some struggles today.
Of course. Yeah.
But people are trying to get to America because they know there's people like you're talking about in Ghana who the only difference was that she got here and she was able to work hard. Like, that's the hope of America. Yeah. You're the hope of America. Like, what we're building here, I think, and what Patrick's been doing is really talking about, like, man, this is one of the greatest places on earth. We can't forget that. And then come back to the next generation. When you're encouraging your daughter, like, man, you're good enough. Talk about it. Preach it, right? Yeah. Or you've got a little boy named Champ, right? I mean, CJ and Champ, and like because of what you're being able to speak into their life, right?
Yeah.
What will that do? And what will that catapult the next generation? I tell my boys all the time, I don't care what you do in this world. I just want you to be kind. Like, if you can be kind and hardworking and do the right thing, man, everything else will take care of it. Yeah. And the opportunity, just kind of this generational change that I think that's happening in the country, and frankly in the world, of people who see that and go, man, like, it's not so bad. Like, there are some bad things happening. But I mean, bad stuff. Like, you grew up in South Central LA, and you saw like bad stuff. You just talked about some of those things, and you look back and go, man, I can help those guys, and I need to help every one of them. Absolutely. There's no limit to how many people we can help. And as Integrity Partners, I got to tell you, we are so honored and so excited to kind of be in this opportunity with you, but this battle with you, because this is like a battle for the future of of the country in a lot of ways, of saying, like, people need our products and services, but people also, I love where you were talking about this earlier, but people also need this opportunity. Yeah. And there's this opportunity, man, we need to tell more people about how, and it's hard. You got to work hard. Yeah. It's not going to come easy. Yep. But man, you find this, you can
change the world.
Unlock the world and change the world.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about now? We're partners and the opportunity kind of ahead into PHP. You guys are part of PHP and Integrity. What are you most excited about? If you had to say in 5 years from now, this is where we're going to be.
Man, I would say in 5 years from now, even just being partnerships now, it's just, I'm now able to dream even bigger. Yeah. I was taught to dream, by Pat and, growing up in this company, but now just being in partnership with Integrity, being able to I could dream bigger, like sky's really the limit, and excited more for our new guys coming up, our agents. I'm excited for them. We already know we're not stopping. It's just now bringing them on, come on with us, Again, I can say this over. It's just exciting to see someone's life change. Someone to get married now and have a kid and making more money than they ever thought that they could make because of this. That's what's exciting now. It's just, hey, come on out, come on with us. Yeah. I see more of our people coming on board with us, and changing their lives.
Yeah. I would say that the possibilities, being partnered with the biggest distributor of health, wealth, and insurance products in the country, and we just hitting the tip of the iceberg on what's possible. And we've been doing this for a decade now in the business. I find we're just getting started. It's like a brand new start for us. We're in the East Coast here. We're expanding across the East Coast and across the country with SOS Financial Agency. But I think for us, our newest people, I'm excited for the newest guy because the opportunity is better for him today than it was for me 10 years ago. Yeah. And sometimes you come into an industry where, hey, you're coming into an industry that's drying up, and you missed the wave. The wave hasn't even come yet.
Yeah.
And there's a new wave of opportunities coming because of integrity, and we're super excited for our new guys, man. If you're new in the industry today, getting started, and you're working with integrity, like, the sky's the limit for what you can do, man. I'm excited to be a part of that, really.
You know, I love your passion. I love the excitement, because the world, in a lot of views, will say, like, again, this is mine. Don't touch it, right? But what you just were all talking about is, like, we can all have this.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's no limit to how many partnerships we want to do, how many people we need. We need more people in this business. What gets me up, there's certain things that keep me up at night. Not much. What gets me up are people like you going, man, we got to help more people recognize this opportunity to go out and serve more people. And the opportunity we've got ahead of us, if you think about basic demographics, there's more people turning 65 today. Right now, there's 10,000 people turning 65 that need our help.
Yep.
And we don't have enough advisors to help them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the truth. We need more people to come in. Like, what other industries, like, we can't help everybody.
Yeah.
We need more
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
10,000 today, 10,000 tomorrow. I mean, it's crazy numbers. Man, you can have it all. Like this, in this industry, if you help enough people, just like Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people, you can have anything you want, right?
Yeah.
And the sky is the limit. So we're so honored to be y'all's partner. And when you say we're just getting started, I truly believe we're just getting started. And this is why we need more people joining this industry. We need more people like you that are really looking with a young, passionate excitement to say, I was there, you can do it too. Like, come here and let me help you. And anything that we can do to help you, we are here. And we're so honored to be your partner. So thank you guys for trusting us in this.
Thank you.
We can't wait to see how many lives we can impact.
Oh, yeah.
And with you guys, I know we
Yes.
are. God bless
So
you guys.
excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Listen,
you.
I hope you're as inspired as I am. The opportunity we have to serve more people, not only in the products and services we have, but the opportunity that we have ahead of us to serve more people and really being able to see this incredible, business that we've been able to build, and then they can go build their business, just like what you guys have at SOS Financial. Like, the sky's the limit. So thank you guys. I hope everybody is as inspired as we are and as excited as we are for the future. So I hope everybody has an incredible week. God bless you all, and take care.